So session 2 of Around the Table. And we saw yesterday how God took his people out of Egypt and made 4 promises to them, and how these 4 promises are the basis of the Passover meal. But today I want to look at the covenant that he made with them at Mount Sinai. He gave Moses instructions on how he wanted the people to live, and he promised in turn that he would guide them, protect them, and lead them to the land he'd promised. We read in Exodus 24 how Moses told the people everything that God had said to him, and the people's response was, "Everything the Lord has said, we will do." So they made sacrifice to God. Moses built an altar, and the blood of the animals they sacrificed, half was put in a bowl and half was sprinkled on the altar. And then Moses took the book of the covenant and read it all to the people. And their response again was, "We will do everything the Lord has said. We will obey." And that's when Moses took the blood that he'd put in the bowls and he sprinkled it on the people. And he said, "This is the blood of the covenant that the Lord has made with you in accordance with all these words." So the covenant was sealed in the blood of sacrifice. God's promise to be with them, to guide them, protect them. But for a holy God to live among them, he had to do something about that because of their sinful nature. And so this is why he gave instructions for building the tabernacle and instructions for establishing the priesthood. God was to dwell amongst his people in the desert, and his place of dwelling was the inner tent of the tabernacle that they built. He set up the priesthood. Only the high priest could go into the very inner part of the tabernacle, and that was only once a year when he made atonement for the sin of the whole nation. In the outer courtyard was a huge altar on which they would make sacrifice for sin. And if you walked through the curtains into the courtyard of the tabernacle, the first thing you would see was that altar, because that was saying to them, if you want to approach a holy God, sin has to be dealt with. Now, the ordinary person never went further than the courtyard, only the priests did, because the priests were there to represent God to the people and the people to God. There in the first inner tent of the tabernacle was a table with 12 loaves of bread, and these represented the 12 tribes of Israel. Every Sabbath, new loaves were baked and put on the table, and the priests then ate the old loaves. I don't know what they tasted like, how stale they might have been, but this was seen as a covenant meal. They were eating them on behalf of the 12 tribes, reminding them of the covenant that God had made with them at Sinai. It was a covenant that had been sealed in blood, the blood of animals. It was affirmed by the eating of the bread. This is the custom that remained. It became part of the temple worship, and it remained until the time of Jesus. The people didn't celebrate the Passover in the desert. They didn't celebrate it until they entered the Promised Land. And that's when they began the annual celebration. And that's what we'll look at next.
You, Yahweh, I lift up my soul, Almighty God.